Okay. Yeah, the recordings are available on the SMAS StanfordSRMen.com website. So if anybody wants to go back to the actual meeting or to the presentations, they can certainly look at it at their leisure or convenience, or if you have to leave early, you can go back and see the meeting. So that is available to us.
You can also just search YouTube for SMAS.
Okay. That's probably the easiest way. All right, thank you, Ira. Next slide.
9:20 a.m. discussion groups next week, the 22nd. Joe D is on tap to lead us in current events, which there are plenty of to discuss. October 29th, Joe D comes back to talk about investments.
Up there and then back up there again. So
November 5th, Art Feldman will lead us in the discussion of the election results up to that point. A couple of comments have been made. Well, maybe we won't know their election results by November 5th, but at any rate, we'll have a discussion of what we know up to that point. And November 12th, Bob Butke comes back to talk about technology again. So thank you, Bob, for this morning's talk on quantum computing. It was really interesting. Next slide.
Just before you do, we were able to schedule Lori at some other date, or?
I believe we have in December, but I'm not sure if it's in the 9:20 or it's going to be at an 11 o'clock, a 10:45 slot. I have to check back with Joe Mattel and.
I thought that there was a chance that we were going to have Lori at 10 o'clock and move the business meeting on November 5th.
Now, if you saw my email, I really don't want to do that. You know, we've established our meeting starting at 10 o'clock, and I want to keep it that way. And, you know, we just have to work around Lori's schedule schedule for another date. We have had her in the past do the main presentation, and like I say, December 17th is, as of today, it's still open for a presentation or a earlier presentation. But I think our meetings, you know, if we were at the church, we wouldn't start our meeting, earlier. So there's no, I don't see why we should have to do that at this point.
Joe,
Yeah.
if she wants to do the 19th at 9:20, that's an option, or then the December 17th at the 10:45.
Or any December meeting at 9:20.
Yeah.
The 19th of December?
November.
No.
November.
19th of November, after Bob's technology presentation is open. On Thursday morning, Thanksgiving. Any December date is fine for 9:20. But if she wants to do the main presentation at 10:45, then that would be December 17th, I believe, that Joe still has open. So give her the options.
Okay, what was the thing you said just before that? Any November at 9:20?
No,
Or just
November
November?
19th at 9:20.
Yeah,
Okay.
Any December at this point.
at 9:20. Or
Okay.
December 17th at 10:45 for the main speaker presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Okay, next,
As far as activities are concerned, as you all know, there's very little planned because of the COVID situation. The one thing that we have been doing for the last several weeks is a walk in Cove Island Park or any other park if we have advanced notice that people want to walk at. Yesterday, there were only 5 of us, whereas the previous week there were probably about 15 or 20. Franco's over here, partially obscured from Carl's camera, my wife and myself, Lou and Bill Layden. Also, they didn't make the tee-off time or the walk-off time, but I saw them later. Jack Austin and his wife were walking there too. So, you know, feel free to come. The weather's been beautiful and it's a great, great place to walk. So we're not going to show this slide again, but this is going to be a regular activity. So led by Carl. And again, if somebody wants to walk at a different place, make a recommendation by email. Waveney Park, for example, is available. Todd's Point after November may be available. So those are also very nice places to walk.
yeah, if you want a more rustic, since we don't have a major crowd, even Mill River off of,
Yeah, right downtown.
not Mill River Park, I'm saying, the, what's the former
Scalzi.
park commissioner, the park up,
Scalzi.
no,
Nope.
no. The one by the river, off of Long Ridge, off of Westover,
Mianus River.
Mianus River.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mianus River Park, a little more rustic walking, but there is, they do have some nice paths available.
Another path along the Sound is Condo Park down in the south end, behind the Pitney Bowes old headquarters.
Oh,
Yep.
Nobody
yeah.
knows
K Park,
Kosciuszko Park.
yeah, K Park. Dyke Park, as they used to be in the old days.
Yep.
So we do have, you know, even in Stamford, there's some a number of venues. Mill River Park, Mianus River. So,
Okay.
and I would suggest if you can, since that is basically the only activity we're doing, maybe continue just to show an updated photo in there if it's not too big a problem.
It's up to Carl. He's the photographer.
who took the photographer? Who took the picture? Who took the picture?
Carl.
I took the picture. Just as long as it doesn't get down to the point where I'm the only one there taking a selfie, I'll continue to take pictures.
When we want more professional ones, Stu, we'll call on you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
At least Franco would appreciate it. He could be only half in the picture.
Social distancing.
That's his better half.
Social distancing presents a challenge for my camera.
Okay. And that, I believe, is all for the activities. Looking forward to this vaccine or the situation being resolved soon so that we can get back to some kind of normal activities. We may have to have a golf outing every 4th or 5th week to to be able to do something. But
It's easy for you to say.
uh,
I could use the money.
Oh yeah, when are we gonna get paid, Brian?
Check is in the mail.
Check is in the mail. Okie dokie.
Okay, next slide is, I guess that's it for me, so.
Okay, thanks, Larry. And Carl, thank you, and the floor is yours.
Do we have any visitors or guests online today? Okay, I received a phone call from Bill Overmeyer's, I think Obermuller, pronounce his name correctly. His wife was checking on the dues, and I just wanted to remind everyone that we'll be collecting the dues beginning in November. And at that time, I'll have a slide with my mailing address and other instructions for how to make those payments. But in the meantime, don't worry about it. And as has been previously announced, the dues for 2021 will be $30 for the regular members, and will be $10 for the life members.
Okay, thanks, Carl. I see Howie, you've got your hand up.
Yes, this was back when they were talking about the walks. If they are changing the location, I hope someone will remember to send out an email about the fact.
Between Carl and myself, we will make sure that Steve sends out an email.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll try to do it with a week's notice, so I have a slide given the address for the location of the next walk. But it's a good point, Howie.
Okay, thank you. Good point. Our fellowship director, Rabbi Phil.
Hi, good to see everybody online. And this is the opportunity to share any news, hopefully good, perhaps bad. Does anybody have anything to share about our members?
Larry here. I have one piece of good news, nice news. My son, who lives in Jupiter, Florida, had a hole-in-one on his golf course last week.
Hey,
This is his second one. 191 yards.
Sounds like it needs a new golf course.
So,
Go through the windmill or over it?
I'm sorry, what?
Did it go through the windmill or over it?
191 yards is pretty much over.
Related
did you
to
teach
that,
him everything he knows about golf?
No, I did in tennis, but not in golf. And I couldn't get a game off him now in tennis. So
related to that, I was talking to Dick Junta the other day, and he just had his second hole-in-one about a month and a half ago.
wow.
Well, thank you for the good news, Larry. Anybody else?
Okay.
Okay, Joe?
Dick Harper, are you? Unmute yourself, Dick.
So I just want to point out to people that all you have to do is press your space bar and you can talk. You don't have to go through the clicking on and unmute.
Dick is with us. Yeah, Dick, you got to unmute yourself. Can't hear you. You're muted. Dick, you're muted. We can't hear you.
I tried
There you
to,
go.
for some reason, I lost the picture and I lost all the things and then it just came. Thank you. Okay, our Undaunted Courage book is quite a long one, but very interesting. Meriwether Lewis was a great observer and came up with a lot of details, believe it or not, as he went across the country and over the Continental Divide. So we're going to talk about that on October 28th. And as before, if anybody has suggestions of other books for the list, send them along and I'll send out a new amended list. Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Dick. Alan. Unmute yourself, Alan. There you go.
You weren't specific which Alan, excuse me, until I saw my picture.
Well, your picture's up there.
I recognize. Anyway, Stamford High School parking lot this Saturday from 8:30 to 12:30. It'll be in the back lot. There's a form to fill out that you have to have filled out. It's for Stamford residents only. You will remain in your car. That's the whole story. We expect a huge crowd, so there'll be probably 3 lanes of drive-ups. And I'll be with CERT just directing traffic, and that's the story.
Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
Alan, are they going to have the senior shots?
My understanding is that I was told, yes, they have the super shots. However, my girlfriend Donna just went and got her shots from a doctor who said that there are no super duper shots, but it's sort of an in-betweener. There's one above the normal shot that they're giving to senior citizens, but it's not the all-inclusive one that they had last year. So there's none of those available, but I was told that there will be a different shot for seniors than for not seniors.
49 and above.
You could give it a shot, you know.
Yeah.
How long have you been practicing that one, Alan?
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, items for discussion. I have one. My thoughts on whether voting in person in November 3rd or voting via mail-in. I was watching Texas opened up their first day of early voting and noticed that there were, and the weather was pretty decent for Houston, that they had 2-hour plus lines with social distancing, and I would imagine that they're probably going to take and make accommodations inside the polling places to space out the thing. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I mean, we're not in a situation where to stand out, who knows what the weather's going to be in November for any periods of time, and whether, we can trust or not trust or do anything with the mail-in ballots. Anybody?
Larry here. I dropped off my wife and my ballots at the special ballot box at Harry Bennett branch of the library. And I must say that there were about 4 or 5 cars that came through and did the same thing. So I would assume that, I don't know how often that box is emptied and taken down to the town clerk, but there were about 4 or 5 different places in town, including, I think, the garage at the government center that have those special boxes. And this way you don't have to worry about the mail doing it. So
Larry,
I would say that's the best option.
Okay, Dick Fisher.
Oh.
I've got 2, actually 3 items. First of all, I'm voting in person because I want to get my vote counted that day. I don't want to, it's not a question of untrusting of the drop-offs. It's going to take a long time to count those. I want to get mine counted that day. Let me go to the flu shots. I have an appointment at the walk-in clinic at Stamford Hospital on Long Ridge, and I asked about the senior shots, and the receptionist there said, we don't have seats. We have something that's better than the regular shot. You know, she's a receptionist. Question why? I'll find out on Friday. Next, the question of getting advice on Medicare or Medigap policies. There is a statewide number for choices. The name is OCEs, and the number, the statewide number is 800-994-9422. In addition to that, there's a program run through and the city of Stamford called Med Assist Choices. So that's MED, capital ASSIS choices. And they have counselors at the senior center. I don't remember the time, but you have to make an appointment for them. And they, again, are trained volunteers. And if they don't have the answers, they can get it for you on either Medicare or the Medigap policies. And the number there for an appointment is 203-977-5297. And Ira, if you want me, I'll send you an email with these numbers.
Why don't you send them to Ira and copy Steve on it? And Steve, if you wouldn't mind just sending out an email at regarding them.
Sure.
Thank you, Dick. Howie.
Couple of comments. First of all, isn't it amazing that in Stamford, we have twice as many ballot boxes as the whole area of Houston, Texas? You know that?
Yes.
Good for us.
Second of all, Joni and I went and got our shots at Long Ridge Walk-In Center. We asked for the senior shot and got them. They offered the equivalent, that is what they said. But when we asked for the other one, all of a sudden they had two. So they are available in limited quantities. Smile and act nice, maybe you can get them. Thank you.
How did you get it then, Howie?
Joan was there.
Okay, Brian.
Sorry, I too have two comments. One is, I agree with Dick. I've used Medicist and it was terrific. And for anyone doubting the mail or the drop-in ballots, Deb and I also, we also dropped off our ballots. And if you doubt whether or not it made it to the correct source, there is a website you can go to, which is portaldirect.connecticut.government, and it's got a bunch of slashes, and I could send it out if you want to. And you can go to that website, and it will confirm that your vote was received.
I have a question on those pickup at ballot boxes. When are the ballots actually open and counted?
Election day.
Okay, so there's a good bet that they will be counted on election day.
Yeah, I think by law they can't be counted sooner.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Lloyd.
A couple things. One, I got a notification today in the mail that the polling place where I would normally go has been changed to First Presbyterian Church, as in my case. I just want to alert everybody that you better look at the card if you're planning to vote in person, because the voting places might be changed on you. Secondly, I got my senior flu shot at Rite Aid here on Hoyt Street. Just walked in, asked if they have it. Yeah, come on in. And Zippo, within a couple of minutes, I got it, and I was gone. So that's another source right here. For those who live downtown, could just walk right in and get it.
Thank you. Alan Jaffe.
And this is a little repetitive of other people's comments, but I got my flu shot, the senior shot at CVS, but this was like 3 weeks ago, so I don't know if they still have them. And also, as far as dropping the ballots off at the ballot boxes, I dropped it off at the one in the garage at Town Hall, and then within 3 days, I went to that website, and it showed that it was received. So I know they have it. So it is a good system.
Thank you. Bill Johnson. Bill?
I just like to repeat, if you hold your space bar down on your keyboard, it'll unmute you as long as you hold the space bar down.
All right, Lloyd, you got your hand up again?
I thought I lowered my hand. I thought my hand was lower.
Okay.
According to
All
my
right,
script.
next slide. All right, Alan Jaffe, now you can.
Well, I guess everybody was surprised I said something serious before. A beer goes into a bar and says to the bartender, "I'd like a gin and tonic." So the bartender said, "Why the big pause?"
Anybody got have a joke to tell? Okay. Has our speaker arrived yet?
Dudley.
Dudley?
Not that I see.
No, neither do I. Okay, well, until he arrives, anybody have anything else they want to throw out on the floor?
Well,
Joe?
since the floor is open, I would just mention an interesting fact. My childhood friend, Louise Glick, just last week won the Nobel Prize for Literature. I've known her my whole life, and pretty excited.
Fantastic.
Terrific.
Anything else? Alan Sosnowitz, you got to entertain us for a couple of minutes.
So if you think that what Alan Jaffe says is funny, then you can't think what I'm going to say.
Dudley has joined us.
He has? Okay.
Yes. I don't know if he's connected. Let's see. I don't see it yet.
No camera or microphone yet.
This is Joe D. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Joe.
Could you tell me exactly where the place is on, someone said Stamford Hospital, I think on Long Ridge Road.
Yes.
You could get a senior shot there.
Yes. It's when you come at Bull's Head,
Right.
go north on Long Ridge Road.
Yep.
And within a quarter of a mile or so, once you go past the old Olin, there are two